Well, apparently I'm live, and here I am on a Saturday afternoon. I slept in until about 2:30, woke up, and realized that I had been up quite late last night doing a live or doing a session on the webcam with somebody using Google Hangouts. So I was up late last night. It's saying live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and follow community guidelines. I wonder if, there's two people watching. That's nice. We got some people watching. Let's get a few more people watching, and then I can start to open this package that I received. Whiskey Straight Al, hey buddy, how are you? I'm doing good. And Whiskey Ace saying good day to Food Quick. Very nice. Good to have you with us. I think we should have a few more people join us while I open up this package, because I'm not going to make this a very long one today, because I have a few videos to produce. I have 4 bottles that I want to try, and right now I'm sober, and I'm going to have something to eat before I start tasting whiskey. I did drink a fair bit last night, and we got 3 people watching. Very nice, very nice. This is picking up a little bit, and this is the package right here. Like so, and it's got very nicely wrapped, very expertly wrapped. We've got 4 people watching. Very nice. I wonder if the originator of this package will be watching. Maybe yes, maybe no. We got 5 people. Okay, we got a few more clicking in there. How are you all doing today? What are you drinking, if you're drinking anything? Let's see. Okay, I guess I'll proceed, because I don't want to take up too much time doing this. Very expertly wrapped. Did a much better job than I would have done. This comes from the whiskey neighbor who lives in Alberta, a neighboring province to the province that I live in, British Columbia. And I sent him some samples, and he sent me some samples. And I forget what he was going to send me. I don't think he told me what he was going to send me, so it's going to be interesting to see what I have received. And hopefully I don't stick myself with this little knife. Okay, we got some of the tape open. We got another comment from Whiskey Straight Al. Had a couple of yellow spot drams. Now on Loch Lomond 12. Nice. Very nice. I almost bought something last night. It was a old malt cask bottling of Loch Lomond, some strange brand that I'd never heard of before, and then it said that it was distilled at Loch Lomond. Okay, here's a nice little box. A box of light bulbs. A box of bright light bulbs, like so. Oh, very nice box. I'm going to reuse this for sending some more samples to people. Okay, is that the wrong side to open? Let's see now. It's got to open up somehow. There are these tabs here. Oh, 2 tabs there and 1 tab this way. Tricky. Okay, now it's coming. I see which way it goes now. Okay. Got 6 people watching. I like Loch Lomond, says Whiskey Ace. And Mr. Anuchnach says, good evening, fine sir. Good evening, sir. Would you love to try the 18 eventually of the Loch Lomond, or which 18, Whiskey Ace? Don't know. I'd like to try any 18 eventually. And Whiskey Straight Al says, I reviewed the Loch Lomond 12 last year, and the master distiller contacted me. He's from Northern Ireland too. Excellent. And Whiskey Ace, it's great stuff. Okay, so you guys are talking amongst yourselves. You're not talking to me. I should have realized that. Okay, this is such an expert packaging. Oh my goodness. We got some, whoa, okay. And there's one here. Okay. There's one here, all separate on its own. And it is a Mount Logan 20-year-old. Okay. I have the 15 and I've had the 5, but now there's a 20-year-old. It's an exclusive rye blend. It's for the Liquor Depot, I believe. 50 mils, 40% alcohol by volume, Canadian rye whiskey. And does it say anything else on it? It's from Highwood. Yeah, Highwood Distillery. 20-year-old. Okay. And there's something I can use to wipe up. That's nice. Okay. Bubble wrap. And another sample here with another thing I can use to wipe up. Very nice. If I should happen to spill anything. Loch Lomond 18 is on Whiskey Ace's wish list. Excellent. It's another Mount Logan 20-year-old. Okay. That's going to be different. Well, I've had the 15. Maybe I could pour me a 15 while I'm unboxing the rest of these things. That's not a bad idea. I think I'm going to do that. And there's not a whole heaping bunch left. That's my Mount Logan 15. It's a nice whiskey. Easy drinking. Fairly light. Somewhat flavorful. I've made a video about this one before. And there's Logan Orr saying, like I said before, you got to find a way of getting Logan from Portugal. Right away, some caramel, vanilla, some wood. 3 thumbs up. Thank you all. Got 8 people watching. And we also have super chats in case anybody wants to send a super chat. Hey, I recognize that box. There's the Whiskey Neighbor. Excellent. Excellent. So far we've got 2 Mount Logans, and that's a great box. I'm going to use it again. It's very, very well crafted. I like it. It's got this double tabs system for closing it up that I really like. Yeah, good stuff. Okay. Good to see the box made it perfectly. That was so well wrapped and so nicely done. And there I was about 2:00 one afternoon, and there's a knock on the door. I go to the door. There's nobody around, but there's the box right there on the doorstep. So I've got the Mount Logan 15. This is the one that I've had already. And thanks for the Mount Logan 20. That's very nice. Yeah, give that a try. Now this has more bubble wrap here. So we're probably talking glass bottles and maybe something even more exotic. Oh, they're big ones too. Wow. What is this? The Whistler Irish Whiskey, 7 years, 59% ABV cast strength, non-chill filtered, natural color. Wow. I don't believe I've ever tried that. That's going to be interesting. The Whistler. Okay. And what's this one? The last one here. I couldn't. Okay. Good to see the box made it. And said, laughing out loud, I couldn't find the right one, but finally got one that was strong. I remember seeing your review 15-year, but the 20 is new for you, right? Exactly. Yes. Whiskey Straight Owl says to Whiskey Neighbor, hey, John, what you sipping now? And Whiskey Neighbor says, still working on the Deanston 12 at Whiskey Straight Owl. And Whiskey Ace says, Your whiskey box wall is looking mighty impressive these days. Yeah, I straightened it out a tiny little bit. It was leaning a fair bit more, but I put a couple of wedges in a couple places. So the ones on that side are more straight, and the ones in the middle are not as leaning as they were. Over there, they're leaning a little bit, but at the end, they're leaning the other way. But you can't see that because of the distortion of the screen. And the ones in the middle are, they look like they're leaning quite a bit, and they are, but the ones on either end are quite straight. So that's working out very well. Oh, Mount Logan 15 is actually quite nice. And I forget what I paid for it, but it was not that expensive. Maybe $35, $40? Or was it as much as 50? I forget. It's been a while. And we got Greg's Whiskey Guide saying, hi, everybody. What did I miss? Not much. You just missed me opening this box and throwing away this paper that was wrapping it and pulling out these Mount Logan 20-year-old Canadian whiskey and one Whistler Irish whiskey, 59% ABV. Yeah, I've never had this, so it's going to be nice, and that's quite a generous sample. Thank you, John. Now, cleanse my palate. Whiskey Straight Owl saying, he's talking to Whiskey Neighbor, okay. And Whiskey Neighbor's saying, hi at Whiskey Ace. And with Greg's Whiskey Guide, what are you guys drinking for Robbie Burns Day? Love your wall at Food Quig. So impressive. Thank you. Cool. Never had these either. Great. And Whiskey Ace says, just had some herbal tea. May pour a dram in a moment. You? I haven't had dinner yet, or breakfast or lunch. I should actually fix something. Maybe I'll open a can of soup because it's kind of damp out. Not chilly, but damp. Okay, what is this? Old Ezra, 7-year-old. Fabulous. Barrel strength Old Ezra. Thank you. I've had one of the earliest whiskeys I remember having was the Old Ezra 7-year-old. But that was back when it came in a box, in a wooden box, and it was quite an impressive. It was bottled at 50%, and it was one of the earliest whiskeys I ever had. And I remember, I think I picked up some hitchhikers. Me and my girlfriend at the time, we picked up some hitchhikers on our way back to Montreal from Quebec City. And these two guys were heading to some place on the South Shore. I don't know where it was, Granby or Saint Hyacinthe or someplace like that. And we got them to their friends or their uncle's house or whatever. And he offered me some Old Ezra 7 for bringing, or it wasn't age stated at the time. It was just Old Ezra, and it was 50% alcohol by volume. I remember that. And those 2 drams, I think I had 1 or 2 drams of that Old Ezra. It impressed me so much. I mean, the guy had been keeping it on his shelf for years, perhaps. And the next time I went to the States, and that was years later in 1988, I actually brought back 2 bottles of Old Ezra and some Jim Beam rye and some Jim Beam, regular Jim Beam. This was back in the 80s, so we're talking more than 30 years ago. And that was when I was working. I had one of my jobs as a geologist was to go up into central Quebec to do some prospecting. And I went up there and I brought 1 Old Ezra and the 2 Jim Beams, and I left 1 Old Ezra in the liquor cabinet at my parents' house because I was living there temporarily because it wasn't worth paying for an apartment when I was out of town a lot of the time. So I left 1 Old Ezra in the in the liquor cabinet at my parents' house. and my sister found it. She still owes me a bottle of Old Ezra to this day. Thanks for bringing back that memory, John. I appreciate that. Oh, we got some more comments here, and we've got 9 people watching, which is great. Okay, and it says here, Whiskey Neighbor just had some herbal tea. Whiskey Neighbor says, "Oh, Edward 12, Caledonia. I have yet to try anything from that small distillery. Hope too soon." Whiskey Ace says, "Herbal tea, well, cool. But I meant time for a Puradram." Okay. Whiskey Straight Al saying to me, "Have you ever had Edward 12 Caledonia? Just about to crack open my first bottle." No. I believe I may have had an Edward Hour and at one time, and I think their peated version was Balechin or Balechin. I've had a Balechin. I think I had a bottle. I'd have to check my videos here. Let's get a new tab on here and let's look at our dashboard and check and see what we have had. And if I have any Edward Hour at all on the list. Okay, let's see now. Manager. Get to the old school manager because I don't like the new one. So I always have to press old school and then click. Search videos. Yeah, we want Edward Hour. Edward Hour. Return. I have had the distillery edition 10-year-old Edward Hour, September 12th, 2015. So that's going back a ways. That's shortly after I moved into here. And I think there's maybe 2 or 3 boxes on the floor on the wall and behind there. It's got 273 views. So I haven't had the Caledonia there, but I have had the distillery edition 10-year-old Edward Hour. And I don't have a Balechin on here, but I think I may have tried one at a whiskey festival once upon a time. It's hard to come by around here. I can get Edward Hour, but not Balechin. Or is it Balechin? I'm not sure how they pronounce that. Okay. Greg's Whiskey Guide says, "I had 3 whiskeys earlier on for Burns night. No haggis, unfortunately. Strathyla 25. Nice. Oh, my alarm. D-Mike. I'm supposed to wake up now. Okay. Hopefully I won't get nailed for copyright with that. Yeah, my sleep and waking is all upside down today because I was I was doing a Google Hangout session with a friend last night, and we stayed on quite long, and I got quite drunk. And then I fell asleep and I slept. Well, I think from about 4 in the morning till about 2 in the afternoon. I think I needed that. Okay. 43% Strathyla, nice but a bit weak. Glenmorangie, PE, Fine Alta, and Alta, nice ones. Much more expressive stuff. Okay. And Whiskey Neighbor saying 2 of those are cask strength. Yes. And they're the bigger samples. I like that. They're going to be good for those sample Sundays that I've been putting together. So I've got 3 of them already up, and they're going to be they will go public soon on YouTube. I love them both and truly hope you enjoy them. I hope there is enough to actually taste them too. Yes. Well, I'm gonna be adding, tasting them and adding some water. 58.5 is a little high. That usually needs a bit of water. And 59 also. They need a bit of water, or they will need a bit of water to get all the flavor out of them. But surprisingly, there are some whiskeys that have a high ABV, but they don't taste like it. And those are the ones I really like. Greg saying, one of the best Edredauer ever that Caledonia, have to say. Oh, okay. Your history goes back so far. I wish I had a few bottles from back then. Sadly, nothing that dusty. Oh no, I don't have those anymore. Or no, you're talking. Wait a minute. Whiskey Neighbors, 2015. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's. I don't have that anymore. I tasted it back then. That's how far back my videos go. Yeah, 2014, 2015. Quigs know legs and know how to use them. Oh, Quigs got legs. Okay, I see. Rabbit in Red reviews. Good to see you too. Where's? Oh, there he is. I skipped you. There's Rabbit in Red. Okay, right. I'm sorry, I missed that. Is Carl Van Walligam? I think it's Walligam. Hello at Whiskey Neighbor. Greg's Whiskey Guide. These two Glenmorangie are great, among the best of the 10. Oh, two Glenmorangies. Okay, I must have missed something there. Sergey is here too. And Whiskey Neighbor says, oh, yep, great legs. It's actually, there's some legs going on here. They're pretty quick. It is, after all, 40%, but it has a beautiful aroma, this whiskey. I haven't tasted it yet. I've just been nosing. Whiskey Neighbor says, hello, that's Sergey. What are you drinking for Robbie Burns? And Rabbit in Red says, hey, at Whiskey Ace, what's up, buddy? Happy Saturday. Whiskey Friend is here too. Hey, buddy, did a Quig live stream last week for hour with Whiskey Bottle, Rabbit in Red, and Eric Waite. Last week, yeah, I missed it. I'm sorry. I did see that you did something with Rabbit in Red and Whiskey Eric Waite, but I didn't tune in because was that on Saturday? Yeah. Last week I was at the Whiskey Festival. It was happening when I was at the Whiskey Festival. I did 3 master classes. Well, first we did a live tasting with Dr. Don Livermore from Corby, and that was the evening. That's 6 whiskeys. A lot of the ones that are out from the last year. Then we did some rare ones the following morning on Saturday. We did 6 whiskeys, things like Pike Creeks and Wisers and Lot 40, Cask Strength, of course. And then went and did Ardbeg. We did an Ardbeg tasting. I think it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That was a master class. And then a Nika master class, I think at 5 o'clock, something like that. And earlier than that, around 4:30. And then the last one was the VIP tasting, VIP consumer tasting. 4 hours of trying different whiskeys all over the place. It was good. Unfortunately, I forgot a lot of the things that I did taste. Sergey has a big glass of Malort and some fresh sauce. Malort, I don't know what Malort is. Could it be Merlot? I'm not sure. Greg's Whiskey Guide. It's a bit late tonight, but you do have live streams sometimes. I would like to do one with you someday on StreamYard, even if our schedules are often hard to match. Yeah, that can be done. That can be done. I didn't want to come on StreamYard this time because I wanted to keep this short. If I have other people joining me, this will go on forever, and we're already almost half an hour. Greg's whiskey guide question for Food Quig. Yeah, I can do that. And hello, the whiskey friend. Good to see you. Oh, okay. There's John. Hope you have something excellent in the glass for Robbie Burns. Yep, nice videos of you and Trenny and C there. Thank you, Greg. Taking it easy tonight. Yeah, me too, Ace. Carl says, what was the best whiskey you had at the whiskey festival? That is a loaded question because I had so many good things. I concentrated mostly on Scotch and Canadian. I did not go and have a lot of Irish, and I didn't have any bourbons or American ryes. The best? Oh, it's so hard to narrow it down to one. Oh, wow. This has been getting better with time, and now it's just at its peak. I forget, when did I open that one? I'll have to check when I opened that one. Let's see. Mount Logan return. Mount Logan 15-year-old Canadian whiskey. Where's the 5-year? I did a 5-year, but I didn't publish the video. This 15 went up September 30th, and I tasted it September 8th. So October, November, December, January, 4 months, almost 5 months, 4.5 months. And it's just right now. The best whiskey I had at the festival, I can't really, there were so many good ones. And, it's going quick too. You have a little sample, you taste it, you nose it, you taste it, and you go, oh, that's nice. And then you're moving on to something else, and you're moving on to something else, and you're moving on to something else. And so I don't remember what the best one was. I did have some Johnny Walker Blue. See now. Whiskey friend saying, Glen Scotia rum finish cast strength. Hope you're well. Oh, that's what the whiskey friend is having now. Glen Scotia rum finish. Did you send me one of those? I know you sent me a Glen Scotia or two. There's one. Campbelltown Whiskey Festival. I'm looking forward to that too, but it's going to be on a sample Sunday. Yeah. Sergey had some red snapper last night, and Rabbit in Red says, hey, Alan. Okay, Rabbit in Red. I may go live tonight and taste some of your samples. Thanks again for the box. You're welcome. Greg says, soon to go to sleep, but still a bit of time. Yeah, I have 4 whiskeys to do later after this to taste and make a video, because next week I won't be making videos. I'll be out of town. So I need to get my videos in order. Hey, Eric, we'll be in touch about your whiskey coin and drams soon. It says whiskey friend. Okay, so you guys are talking amongst yourselves. Yeah, if you want to talk to me, leave me a Food Quig red box. Okay, and Rabbit's sending samples. Yeah, he's supposed to be sending me some as well soon. Christian, hey Quig, greets. Yes, greets to you too. And Greg says, still awake late like me. Rabbit in Red, cool whiskey ace. I'm sipping some Kilchoman red wine matured at the moment. Oh, nice. Okay. Sergey, bet the red snapper was better than Rabbit in. Oh, you, Sergey. I don't know, man. That's not very nice to say that. Rabbit in Red has some great reviews. I learned a lot. And he always has a way of trying whiskeys that I've never tried before. And some Highland Park 12. Very nice. And okay. Whiskey Ace is asking Rabbit in Red when he's going live. Greg's Whiskey Guide still got a nice smoky peatiness and malty body. Damn good dram. Greg's Whiskey Guide. You're in for a treat with the GS Rum Cask Festival. Oh, fantastic. Thank you. That's Whiskey Friend. Blame it all on him for sending it to me. Yeah. Thanks, Whiskey Friend. Thanks, Alan. Okay. Greg's Whiskey Guide. Yep, still up, Greg. Whiskey event in Manchester tomorrow. Greg, looking forward to that. Okay. Not sure. May go at 9 p.m. Eastern. So that would be in a couple hours. Yeah, okay. Interesting. It's a recent release. Okay. Whiskey Neighbor says, well, I'm going out for supper tonight with the missus. So glad those made it without breaking off. Perfectly intact. Excellent. Cheers, Food Quig, and everyone here. Have a great night. Thank you very much. You have a great night, too. And Sergey's asking, what's my favorite bourbon? Got to be a toss-up between George T. Stagg Jr. and Elijah Craig Cast Strength or Barrel Proof, ECBP, yeah. It's one of those two. There's no bourbon that comes close that I have tried to those two. ECBP and George T. Stagg Jr. I can't decide which one is better. I'd have to have them side by side, and maybe some batches of one are better than the other and so on. I think I've had one batch of each. So that's it. Greg's Whiskey Guide from 2017. So not too dated. Okay, so that's Rabbit in Red saying 5 years old. Sergey, what kind of red snapper? Oh, yeah, of course. Rabbit in Red, you guys. Carl, Rabbit in Red's channel is awesome. Great guy, great reviews. I concur. And Welsh Toro's here too. Fantastic. We got 15 people and Welsh Toro as well. That's wonderful. Nice to have you with us. I won't say your name. It's up to you if you allow me to say your name or not. I got shit when we were in Birmingham with Vin PF. And I said his name on a live, and Vin says, shh, we don't give our real names. Okay. Not the easiest thing to find in the States, but not rare or anything. Okay. First Phil is here too. Hi, Food Quig. Scotland calling. Yes. Thanks for staying up so late to join us. I appreciate that, First Phil. Nice to have you there. And Whiskey's poured Millstone 100% rye Dutch single malt. I have yet to try one of those. Welsh Toro says ECBP and Stagg Jr. are equally good. Yeah, well, they're great. And I have not yet had a bourbon that comes close to those two, but this one here, no, that's the Whistler. Sorry. This one that I just opened up tonight, or I opened the box, Old Ezra, aged 7 years. That might be up there. Okay. Yeah. Meant Food Quig. Okay, that's fine, First Phil. That's really good. And Sergey says red snapper. Okay, right. Okay. Good for you. Still have to try a sample. Had it a long time at Whiskey Ace. Whiskey Friend saying hi to First Phil. Okay, Whiskey Ace, Greg, quite unique, very good 10-year rye. Okay, Welsh Toro says that was a great night. Yes, it was. That night at that, what was it, the Birmingham Whiskey Club or something like that? It was a great night. We had a lot of good drams that night. And I forget most of them. In fact, I had to buy a bottle of the Glendalough Mizunara because I don't remember what it tasted like. So I have a bottle of that coming up. Rabbit and Red Whiskey Reviews, Greg's Whiskey Guide. Hi, guys. And Sergey says, Stag Jr. always seems to be a disorganized hot mess, sort of like your ex-wife. Okay. I enjoyed it. I had a bottle of Stag Jr. What was it, 2 or 3 years ago, and it was great. It had a lot going on. It was complex, and if you call that a hot mess, well, you're entitled to your opinion, of course, but I enjoyed it a lot. And I'm enjoying this one too, even though it's a cheap one, it's a cheap Canadian whiskey. Well, it is 15 years old. It is rather good. 35 minutes. And 14 people watching. We're doing okay. Whiskey Straight Owl says that food quick. Damn, this Edrador 12 Caledonia is beautiful. Edrador 12 Caledonia. I wish I could find it. I'd have to look. I'd have to hunt far and wide for that one. Don't have the time to go hunting so far and so wide. Whiskey Friend says, all good, fella. Not a whiskey event tomorrow, so getting ready for that. Yeah. No, me, tomorrow, I got to work tomorrow night. So I'll do my drinking tonight and put up some videos, and tomorrow wash the dirty glasses and then go to sleep and then go to work tomorrow night. Okay. Rabbit's going live at 8:45 p.m. Feel free to stop by. And Welsh Toro says, I like the Jack Daniel's single barrel proof too. I think that's up there. Okay, that one I've never tried. And I've tried the Jack Daniel's single barrel select, but not the single barrel proof. And I hear that there's quite a difference between the two, but they come in the same kind of bottle. I haven't tried the Jack Daniel's single barrel proof, because another thing, I don't think it's available here in British Columbia because, the big brother government has to, make sure that we don't corrupt ourselves with cast strength whiskey. So I've never seen it, at least around here. I've seen the select, single barrel select, but not the single barrel proof. And I wonder if there's a lot of batch variation between those single barrels, or are they pretty well consistent? There's going to be some variation, yeah, but is it that much? I don't even know. I've never tried it. But yeah, I trust you. I trust you, Toro. I think it's possible that maybe someday I will try it. Probably be around. Okay, Whiskey Ace might be around for that. Wish we had some cheap 15-year-old Canadian whiskeys in the States. Yes. Yes, we have 15-year-olds and 20-year-olds and 23-year-olds and 41-year-olds and 42-year-olds and 35-year-olds and the 42-year-old, that's expensive. That's over 300 Canadian, but the 35 wasn't that bad. It was only a couple $100. The Weiser's 35, and now the Weiser's 23. It's a cast strength, and it was like $150. Okay. And okay, Greg's Whiskey Guide is saying to Welsh that it was one of his tops, so that was the single barrel proof. Maybe it'll be my next dram, says Whiskey Ace. Okay, so the Jack Daniel's barrel proof. Okay. Evening, everyone, says Jason Coates. Good evening, Jason. Nice to have you with us. Slanchava. And you should try Jack Daniel's Fire. I should try everything there is, actually. Now I'm getting more oak mid-palate. A lot of oak mid-palate. very nice. It's got some of that. I'm sure there's wheat in here. It's Mount Logan. There's got to be some wheat blended in there with instead of rye. I don't get a lot of rye. I get corn and wheat. Or did it say there was rye in there? It's an exclusive premium blend. Oh, it says on the back probably. Canadian icon celebrated with the true iconic Canadian whiskey. Enjoy. Connoisseur's whiskey. I don't have time to read all that because I'm reading your comments. Here we are. Welsh Toro JD Barrel Proof is fantastic. Hard to believe it comes from the same people as number 7. Yeah, I know. Number 7 kind of turns me off too. Greg says there are some batch variations for JD Barrel strength. I've tried some from 2017. Was great, but not as great as the one I awarded 2019. Okay. How you doing? You had the Edward Hour 12 Caledonia, says Whiskey Straight Owl. And he's talking to the whiskey friend. Okay. Everybody's got whiskey in their name, except for me. And Carl Van Wellingham. Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Strength 129 proof is a fantastic whiskey and one of the best bang for your buck barrel proof whiskeys. Yeah, if I could get it here, I suppose. And dangerously drinkable, neat despite that strength. Oh, those are the best ones, but they get you kazooed really easily. I was getting into some of my infinity bottles this morning, and I had 2 of the Canadian ones that have some Isla Peat blended in, and then I went to my Island blend, which was fantastic. My Island blend was really good. Richie says, greetings, Andy and whiskey friends. And hey, Alan, and hey, Richie. Okay. Hey, guys. Greg says, whiskey Quig will sound good too. Yeah, but everybody's whiskey. I don't want to be whiskey. And if I changed it now, it would be kind of late because it's been Food Quig for so long. People know me as Food Quig. They see me and I'm Food Quig or Quig. But whiskey Quig, no, that would be redundant. Everybody's got whiskey in their name. I could change. I don't know. I don't think I want to change it. I'm known as Food Quig, and I've got more than 2 million views as Food Quig. So why would I want to change that now? Okay. Pass me the green. I need some weed with my Hennessy. I'm sorry, I don't do weed. I don't enjoy it. It just makes me feel paranoid and out of control, and I don't like it. And Carl says to Greg's Whiskey Guide, agree with that. Okay, so we're talking about the Whiskey Quig. And Welsh Toro, my other good bourbon bang for the buck last year was the new Wild Turkey Rare Breed. Yes, that would surprise a lot of people in a blind. The Rare Breed was nice. Rare Breed was very nice. I remember it disappearing fast. And that might have been an earlier one than yours. I don't know. Mine was from 2018, I think. And Whiskey Straight Owl has a few left. Okay. Oh, checking out Amazon. Okay. Rabbit in Red says, Richie, what's up, buddy? Okay. And Whiskey Ace wishes he had better access to Canadian whiskeys. Yeah. It's so easy to get here, just like bourbon is to get down there. Get any bourbon you want. We can't. Yeah. And Richie says, Ada Sergey and Greg. Richie loves the name Food Quig. Thank you. I think I want to keep it. Sergey's lit. Yeah, we can tell. Amazing what things come in through in text. Certain batches of Rare Breed are tops, but still, bang for the buck for bourbon for me, Wild Turkey 101. It's just, it's great. It's not expensive. Can't go wrong. Greg says, no problem. I was just looking. Me, I changed my channel name several times before getting back to the website's name. Sounds now more relevant, but I see what you mean. Whiskey this, whiskey that. Exactly. Yeah. Like Whiskey Jason and Jason Whiskey Wise. Whiskey Jason, Jason Whiskey is, it's easy to confuse people's names sometimes. Rabbit is still hunting for Wild Turkey Forgiven, which I cannot find anywhere. I've never even heard of it. So there you go. Hey, friend, says Mr. French. Mr. French is in with us too. Great. Whiskey Straight Al says to me, how did your name originate? Okay. I've told this story a few times, but I suppose I could do it again. When we were children, my sister and I, we had pet names for each other. We had nicknames. She called me Quiggy. And I forget what I called her. But Quiggy eventually shortened itself to Quig. And we were reading Mad Magazine a lot when we were kids. And there was, I'll never forget this. It was their Mad movie satire of The Exorcist. And you had the two priests walking through the park talking about the exorcism and the case that they had to take care of and exorcise the devil from this little girl played by Linda Blair. And, they're priests, right? With the clerical collars, and they're walking through this park. And in the margin, there was this, I think it was Al Jaffe who designed the little margin, the little guy, the little side cartoons in the margins. And there was this one with the two rabbis, and they say "Feh goyim." So "feh" is "feh," yeah, yuck. So they're making a comment on the priests. So my first channel on YouTube was Feh Quig. And it did okay for a while. It did okay for quite a while. I stopped doing anything with it except watching other people's videos from it people who were still around from, back in the early days, 2016, 2006, 2007, and back in those days. And my ex and I, we started going to restaurants and trying the food. And we would, do a rating that was based on the thumbs up and thumbs down kind of thing. We had our rating system for different restaurants, and we went to restaurants all over the place. We went to restaurants in Florida, restaurants in Montreal, Toronto, here in Victoria, mostly because here's where we live and or lived. She doesn't live here anymore. She's in Alberta. Anyways, I thought the restaurant videos were doing so good compared to the regular Fequig videos that I did a spin-off channel, and I called it Food Quig. And the spin-off channel started going towards having a dram. I would have a dram after dinner in a restaurant, and try a whiskey, have a whiskey after my dinner. And that was the beginning of the whiskey reviews on the Food Quig channel. And I was getting more and more into whiskey. I always liked whiskey, but I was getting more into it back in those days around 2014, 2015. 2014, I think, is when I started doing the dram after dinner thing on the Food Quig channel. And that sort of morphed into doing whiskey videos. And that's what I'm still doing. So there you go. That's where the Food Quig name came from, because my sister called me Quiggy when I was a kid. She still calls me Quig to this day. Okay. Certain batches of rare breed are tops, says Whiskey Ace. Okay. Okay. Greg says, no problem. I was just joking. I changed my channel name several times. Okay. I did see that. I'm still hunting for Wild Turkey Forgiven. Okay, I've read that. And how did my name originate? I told you. I just told you. You guys won't believe me, but never had Wild Turkey 101 yet, but we'll have to. Yes, Greg, I think you owe it to yourself to at least try it once. I need to try everything at least once. And this is really working out. This, now it was good before, but it's getting better. And the 20-year-old Mount Logan, that's going to be nice. Okay, fantastic samples once again. I think he's gone out for dinner already. We were talking about the whiskey neighbor who sent me these samples so generously. Okay. Carl says, I just killed my bottle of Balblair 00. Okay, 2000. Has anyone already tried Balblairs from the new range statement? I almost bought a bottle of Old Pulteney from 15 last night. But I changed my mind when I noticed that there were just 2 bottles of Springbank 10 left on the shelf. And the price wasn't so bad. It was about the same price as the 15-year-old Old Pulteney. So, and because I'm a big Old Pulteney fan, I wanted to get that one. But I'll get it some other time because they had plenty of it. There was lots of Old Pulteney 15. But the new range of Balblair, I've seen it around, but I haven't really jumped at it yet. It may happen eventually. I just got to get some more money together. Because, this time of year, it is kind of hard. It's kind of like a hand-to-mouth existence at the moment. January, February, slow months. Slow months in my business. So I'm enjoying whiskeys that I bought almost a year ago and paid a lot of money for. Tasting them anyway. And yeah, things go on. I will be going to a distillery next week, so that's why I won't be here, and that's why I got to make some more videos. Okay. Welsh Toro says to the whiskey friend, I'm good. Just left a couple of comments on your post. Eric had a thing or two to say. 101 is good, but don't trip over yourself trying to find one, says Jason Coates. It's an amazing for only $22 kind of thing. Better bourbon are still better. Yes, but they cost more. And this time of year, budget bourbons are a good thing. Any drams tonight? Okay, Richie is asking Alan and Welsh if they've had any drams tonight. Were you dinking at Whiskey Ace? I'm getting behind. Drams are my dinner, says Sergey. Okay. Okay, Whiskey Ace is enjoying some. I think I got behind when I was explaining where the Quig name came from. Yeah. You guys are too fast for me. I don't see Forgiven anymore, says Richie, but managed to grab. Okay, let's see if there's another thing for me. Okay, drams are my dinner at Food Quake. Okay, Whiskey Straight Al says, thanks for that, much appreciated. Another one, what made you start doing YouTube? I won't ask any more after this. Good one, Al. Okay. There's nothing for me besides that for a while. Is the Springbank 10 the 2019? I don't know. I think so. Because we haven't had Springbank 10 for quite a while. And okay, I'll drag it out from under my bar. Where will it say that? I think it's the new box, right? I think it's the 2019. Distilled by Mitchell, Campbelltown. I think it's the new one. Just the box should tell you, right? Okay. That's the new labeling anyway. We haven't had, yeah. I know you're going to tell me if it's the 2019 or not, right? Okay. Let's see now. Bayou Drams is here too. We got 18 people watching. Fantastic. Okay. How many bottles do you have open? Do you open them all right away? No, I open them as I go. I have some bottles still sealed from 10 months ago. Not jumping on a new range of Balbelair or Pulteney. They push the pocket in a way I don't like. Okay, well, I'm about to go for them in my stride, you know. I'm not in a rush. Sergey Funt says, are you sad that Canuck drummer from Rush has passed? No, not particularly. Rush I wasn't that much into Rush, and I don't really get involved with a lot of news, things that happen in the news. Too much talk about Batch these days. Springbank 10 is always excellent. Oh, there you go. And I was going to answer a question about YouTube. Okay. I think I'm caught up now. I skipped a lot of things, but you guys are talking amongst yourselves, so that's all good. I don't have to answer every single comment that comes out there, but the ones that are addressed to me, yes, I feel an obligation to do that. I need another glass of water. I'll be right back. I also need dinner, and I will have dinner eventually. I'm going to have, oh, there's still some in the glass. What am I doing pouring another? Gosh. I think I'm becoming luscious as I get older. Mr. French has left me a comment, and it's saying show or hide. Okay. Hector Forever, have you ever tried the Bruichladdich Octomore? It has a lot of ppm, yeah, I know, and needed 2 hours to finish a 2cl glass. Wonderfully powerful whiskey to drink while smoking a Brazilian cigar during winter. My main problem with Octomore is the price. I don't think it's worth what they're asking for it. In fact, when I was at the whiskey festival, I was at the Bruichladdich table, and I tried some Black Arts, and I tried some Isla Barley, because they had some Isla Barley and they had some Black Arts. And then I was going towards, I said, can I have some 10? You know, I put my glass out, and he was grabbing the Octomore 10 point something. I said, no, not that one. The Port Charlotte 10. Because I buy Port Charlotte because it's reasonably priced compared to Octomore, which is just ridiculously expensive around here. So I never buy it. So Octomore, yeah, I've tasted Octomore once or twice, but I don't think it's worth the money. So YouTube, yes, I'm going to answer your question. Back in 2005 or so, 2006, Cindy and I were going on a trip to Mexico. And she said, I still had my film camera, my 35 millimeter SLR film camera to take pictures. And she says, we should get a digital camera to take pictures. And I say, well, what for? This takes great pictures. And she said, yeah, but let's go with the times. So I went and I bought a digital camera that had all kinds of things on it that you don't need, but it was a digital camera and it took pictures. And I asked, does this also make videos? Does this shoot movies? And the guy said, oh, yes, it'll shoot movies. I said, great. So I started watching people on YouTube. I got into YouTube around the same time, 2006. Spring or summer of 2006. And I had my camera, or I bought the camera for a trip in the fall. I think it was in September or October. We went down to Mexico. And I bought the digital camera, and so now I had a digital camera. And it was cool, and we were I started, instead of shooting pictures, I was shooting videos. But before we went, it was in February or March we went to Mexico, but I had bought the camera already. And I was starting to get into YouTube and starting to watch people on YouTube. And I thought, this is too cool that regular people like me can make motion pictures and put them up on the internet for the whole world to see. I just thought it was too cool that you could do that. So I started making videos with this camera. And I figured out somehow to edit the footage. And I started making videos just vlogs. I started making vlogs in my taxi, and I started, and I'm still making vlogs in my taxi to this day. I'm not using a digital camera. I'm using a phone to shoot vlogs in my taxi. And yeah, I've been doing that for 12 or 13 years now. Shooting taxi vlogs. And I just thought it was too cool that you could just make motion pictures, that anyone can do it. You don't need a Hollywood studio, and you don't need a big production, and you don't need a lot of money. You just can make videos. And that's what I started doing. And so I'm still here now because I've combined two of my hobbies, one of which was making videos, and the other one is whiskey. So there you go. These are my hobbies, and they take up a lot of my time. You need 5 years to drink the bottle, so they have to make up for it. Oh, okay. So that's what you're saying, Hector Forever. Yeah, I go through quite a bit of Port Charlotte because I like it, and it's affordable. And Welshie is saying right here, Octomore is way too expensive. I bought the 6.T to see what the fuss was. I don't think 3 times better than the Port Charlotte. Never bought it again. Exactly my point. I think Octomore is kind of like a sports car. It's got all the horsepower, shall we say, with regards to the ABV, and it costs a lot of money. But is it practical for bringing your groceries home, which I can do with my cheap little hatchback that cost me nothing to own because I bought it very used, and it doesn't break down and it gets me there? I still get there. I could have an expensive sports car and I could get there too, but I even have more space to put my groceries and my laundry and everything in there. So why would I want an expensive sports car? It's the same thing as the Octomore. I can get by fine with Port Charlotte. I can get by fine with this Canadian whiskey. I don't need to drink I don't need to drink Octomore. It's like a Ferrari or a, you know, it's a toy. It's not. It's overkill. That's what it is. So that's what I think about Octomore. Heck Forever Foodquig. I never tried a Port Charlotte. Yes, if you try Port Charlotte, chances are you might not go back to Octomore. I've only had one Port Charlotte that I did not like, and that was the 12 here, the 12, which was a travel exclusive, and it was the 12 was the only one I didn't like, and that was I can't pronounce 12. Where are you? I know you're around here somewhere. Here we are. Any Scots Gaelic people, Scots Gaelic speaking people out there will forgive me for saying Orleanach Furachail, and that's probably not pronounced properly. That's the only Port Charlotte I didn't like. That was the 12. The rest of them have all been fantastic. In fact, my whiskey of the year for last year was the Port Charlotte MC01, which was finished in Marsala casks. Hector Forever says, which one would you recommend to buy? All of them except the 12, in my opinion. And we are talking about those. And Jason Coates has only had one Port Charlotte. He didn't like it. Unfortunately, I've only had one Port Charlotte. Oh, which one was it, Jason? Because I've had every one I could get my hands on. And I still have some bunkered here. And I got lots of Port Charlotte. I got some I got to open soon. And my MCO1 is almost finished. There's like about that much left in the dark bottle. Yeah, I'd recommend all of them except for the 12. And Welsh Toro says, been a while since I had a Port Charlotte. My great new Peter was old Ballantruan, 15. I had a Ballantruan. Which one was it? I know it's on the wall somewhere. There it is. 10. Old Ballantruan 10. And I found the peat smoke to be quite ashy, very ashen. And a little bit, I can't describe it in other words than muddy and ashen rather than smoky. So to me, Ballantruan, I can take it or leave it. It's not a necessity. And Jason Coates says it was a bottle of PC10 that we had at Barton Scott's Gathering in 2018. It had a distinct butyric vomit note. Oh, I'll try more. Not going to dismiss them all based on that. Really, I didn't get a vomit note at all. I thought it was just delicious. The first one I ever tried was the Port Charlotte 11, PC11. And that one had the name Iorna nach Alba on it, which means Scottish barley. And that one was fantastic. It blew my head off. It was amazing. Then I had the 10 after that, which was pretty good. I've had several bottles of the Port Charlotte 10 second limited edition. I still have one bunkered. That one is so good. It's got the peat and it's got the sherry, and they sort of blend together. It's just marvelous, marvelous category of whiskey. And Sergey says PC10 is too close to PCP. Well, it's a subjective thing, you know. Some people like some things, some people don't. It's just like that. And Welsh Toro says the difference between 10 and 15 is pretty significant with many whiskeys. Yes, even the difference between 10 and 12 can be significant. like with yeah, exactly. It can be like Highland Park, for example, is a perfect example. Highland Park 10 was kind of bland and kind of light and kind of thin, but then you get the Highland Park 12. Mwah! Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. And Greg's Whiskey Guide said he had best Port Charlotte ever last year. An Indy one was top 10 whiskey of the year, but excluded from the numbered list because of its crazy price. 272 pounds, US 303. That would be $400 Canadian. No, thank you very much. I won't pay $400 for a bottle. 300 is pushing it for me. Sergey's asking me if I like any of the Game of Thrones. No, I never tried any, or I may have tried one, and that was the Oban Game of Thrones at the distillery. I believe that's the only Game of Thrones I ever had. I never watched the TV show. In fact, I haven't watched TV in something like 12 years. I've been on YouTube since then, so I haven't watched TV, so I don't know from Game of Thrones. I don't know from a lot of these shows. Besides, I work nights and evenings, and when I work evenings, I'm driving a taxi, so I'm not watching TV when all these primetime shows come on. So I really never got into the hype. It's a marketing gimmick, and I haven't really gotten into the Game of Thrones. I tried one, and I seen reviews on White Walker that was just tells me that I don't think I'm going to like it when they suggest that you freeze it. That means it doesn't taste good if you have to freeze it to make it palatable. And Richie says, do you think Highland Park has gone off the deep end with marketing and packaging? It's turned me off a little. Yeah, they have gone too far. I prefer the old way where they just had, standard ages. You had a 12, you had a 10, you had what else did you have? An 18, and then you had some things like the dark one, I even saw it in the store like a week or two ago. Dark Origins. Dark Origins was really good. The 18 was all right. I liked the 12 a lot. And, that's a good lineup right there. But you start putting in things like Valkyrie, which did not impress me at all. And those other things with the wooden frames around them and the names of Viking gods, I never went for any of those because they were expensive. And I just never went for them. I've had the Valkyrie. I have the Valknut. That's still open. I went through 2 bottles of Magnus, which is a great entry level. The Magnus is good. I just don't like the bottles because you can't see the level that's in there. And before you know it, you've poured the last dram out and there's no more left. And you go, shit. I really wanted to have some more of that, especially the Magnus. The Valkyrie took me over a year to finish that bottle. I was not a fan, but my Valknut is getting kind of low already. I have the Valfather, which I'm going to try eventually in the next year, but I'm not going for the marketing. I'm not going to buy something just because it has a big packaging and it's got this Viking legends on it and it's got ancient runes on the label, and it doesn't have to. I don't see the need. I might pick up some Highland Park. There is one called Cask Orkney 18. Now, I'm not sure if it's Highland Park or if it's a Scapa, but it's Orkney. And this Cask Orkney 18 single malt is fantastic. It takes a little while to open up. It might even be Scapa because it doesn't seem to have any of that that peat to it. Anyway, it's pretty phenomenal. I like that stuff. Yeah, I think Highland Park has gone off the deep end. They've gone too far with this Viking crap. But if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. Sergey says, a lot of hate on them thrones out there. I hear you. Okay. Welsh Toro splashed out a Talisker 15 and really like it. Think it's overpriced though. Yeah, a lot of things are. And the prices are going to keep going up as time goes on. Okay. What's your least favorite distillery? Highland Park? No. No. Hector Forever says, yeah, but the runes give you 30% more beard. Oh, goodness. Jason says the marketing drives me nuts too, but the juice keeps pulling me back in. I love this stuff. Some of it is really good. But like I said, my experience with the Valkyrie was not that stellar. Greg's Whiskey Guide says, yes, got to try before you buy for them too. Some of them NAS cost around 300 euros. Yuck. Oh, and we're talking about, yeah. I'm not going to spend that kind of money. Usually 200 tops. I will push it to 300 if it's something really special, like a, 42-year-old Canadian club, something like that. I will spend $300 on that bottle. Well, it has been a slice. I've got some videos. I've got some food to eat. I got to prepare something to eat and eat something before I tackle tasting 4 whiskeys tonight. And that's my goal, and that's what I want to do. So I'm going to have to bid you all farewell. We've been going an hour and 17 minutes, and I could go on, but I've got other things to do. I'm sorry to cut it so short. And is there a drop left? Yes, there's a drop left. Slanchava.